Average player takes about 1 minute and 48 seconds to beat the first mission of Days Gone. Speedrunners can reliably do it in 1 minute and 24 seconds. Well, sort of. I probably played this part of the game more than anyone on the earth, and I have a plan. Step 1. We're gonna shave off the first 24 seconds to a clear, consistent 126 using reliable strats that anyone can learn. Step 2. We're gonna hunt down the next 2 seconds through tighter turns, better nitro usage, and cleaner landings. Well, just kidding. It's a little bit more complicated. Step 3. I won't tell you yet, but you'll know when we'll get there. To maximize the nitros right from the start, I marked the first reliable trigger point. See that towel on the ground? That's your go signal. Hit nitros there and keep tapping through every straightaway. Now, why do we keep tapping nitros instead of saving it for one big dramatic boost? Simple. Because forgetting to use it at all is worse than using it imperfectly. Tapping constantly keeps nitros active as often as possible, especially in straight lines, corners, and subtle hills that you would normally bleed speed on. And on modern 60 FPS versions of the game, this method is way more consistent than trying to time one perfect burst. It's not about squeezing every last drop for one press, it's about never leaving free speed on the table. So yeah, tap it like your personal best. Depends on it, because it does. One more thing. Uphill equals nitro. Every time you are climbing, use nitro to punch through the slowdown. On steeper inclines, you might want to hold it a little bit longer. Well-timed boosts in those moments save more than you think. Now let's talk landing. Always land flat. That's literally a tutorial tip from the game that says this. And for once, it's actually right, not that anybody read that. Flat landings preserve more of your momentum and reduce the bike damage. Second best option, land on the rear wheel and immediately boost to recover. But never land on the front wheel. And absolutely, don't even think about landing sideways. As for the lines that you are seeing here, these mentions on the screen and these driving routes are a mix of contributions from Matt Yoger, IA Kevin, and some dude named Bacon. Weird names, I know, but welcome to the internet. Now, you are probably thinking, okay, that's pretty solid, 126, maybe 125 if I keep it clean. But how do we go faster? How do we break into the 124 and 123 era? Let's step to part 2. While everyone else was grinding away at the standard route, tweaking driving lines, tightening jumps, dreaming of a 1 second time save through sheer perfection, I followed Speedrunner, walked in and dropped the bomb. OZDF, known for Fallout 4 glitchless speedruns, casually dropped this in the Discord. What if we drove the long way? At first, it was a big hit of question marks. A roundabout route, slower roads, more distance. Well, the thing is, speedrunning is not that straightforward. And this route was faster, because the long way had something that the old route didn't. It seemed longer, but it was shorter for the driving distance. And it had less sketchy landings. It also let us boost nitros better, without interruptions. Suddenly, that 125, 126 was not perfect anymore. Now, Bacon took it in and started comparing this side by side, old line versus the new line, trees versus turns. And every time OZ's run pulled the route ahead by 1 singular second, landing cleanly at the 124 mark without needing got-there driving. It didn't look flashy, it didn't feel risky, but it worked. And that's what made it revolutionary. But what spawned out of it was not this singular route, but 2 more routes. Now, what you're seeing on the screen on the map, that green line, that is the standard route, the one that everybody had been refining for years. Clean, efficient, fully optimized, or so we thought. Now let me draw out OZDF's route in the yellow. As you can see from the drawing, this route looks way more straight. Almost as straight as an arrow. But Bacon had more ideas. And based on what he learned on the testing, he thought that there was a faster way. The idea was pretty simple. All we had to do was combine the standard route with OZDF's revolutionary straight route. And this came from one specific bridge. Jump here, turn right, and you were on the same line as OZDF. All we had to do was figure out which one was faster. But first we need to break down what did we figure out with these new routes. Because there's always lessons to learn. The first and most important lesson was staying left from this line, as this will result in an automatic mission fail by getting too far from Boozer. Secondly, we had to rethink the whole ending of the mission because of the tree lines that we got into. This was far from the left side where we used to drive, and that meant tree trunks, cars, street signs, you name it. There's a lot of obstacles here. Now, here's the problem with these two routes. They're equal. The original green line route, combined with OZ's cleaner section, has now become the standard. Not because it's flashy, but because it's reliable, consistent, and totally standard. We're used to it by now. But let's watch one last clip. This is the fastest this mission has ever been beaten. And personally, I hope one day someone breaks it again. What you're seeing here is a jump that was basically impossible to land reliably before the remastered version. The earlier patches had a little less consistent bike physics, but the remastered patches improved on that a lot. 122 became possible. Not easy, but possible. It's not reliable by any means. And here's some useless but fun trivia. Leon can actually shoot you during the openings chase. It's rare, but it happens. Also, fun fact, you can crash into crows with your bike and it slows you down, which is the most Oregon way to lose time in a speedrun. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something. So tell me, which route are you gonna choose when chasing Leon next time you boot up Days Gone from the start again? A small little thing as well, you can always submit leaderboard runs to this mission on the speedrun.com. I'll leave the link below.